Hi, everybody. I'm Darryl, and this is my wife, Barbara. And we want to share with you about some local work that we've been involved in, that Hope has partnered with us in. As Doug shared, I'm a Boston police officer, and I do a program called the Boston Police Teen Academy at my job. And my wife, Barbara, is going to share about her program at her job called Saturday Academy.
Hello. So I have the privilege of being a staff developer as well as being in the classroom for the Boston Public School System. And a little while ago, Ken Lowy, God put something on Ken Lowy's heart to start a Saturday Academy. Having a program at my school was not on my radar, but I'm so grateful for the power of influence and how God works through others to give you dreams and hopes and purpose. And so Ken Lowy approached me, and I'd like to say that I was like, yes, let's do this. But that would not be the truth. I was very hesitant. I didn't know how to introduce these two parts of my life, my work and my worship. And I was a little bit nervous about bringing them together. But God, one thing about me in terms of my relationship with God, He has always persistently pursued me. Before I became a Christian, and while I've been a Christian, He has never stopped persistently pursuing me. And so He did not let this go away. I wanted it to. It didn't. Every now and again it would come up, and then finally I was compelled by God. I need to do this. What helped it was having a strong professional relationship with my principal. She was open to the idea because of the integrity that I strove to do my job with. And so she was open to allowing, because of my reputation, to allow me to do something that hadn't been done at my school. And I'm grateful for that. I want to just describe the program a little bit to you. And one thing I want to say about it is that God has continued to teach me through this service that whatever I do for the least of these, I do for Him. And that has continued to be a theme in what I've learned through doing this program. So Saturday Academy started in the fall of 2010, and we serve children from the ages of 6 to 11. The program runs in two sessions, both 6 weeks long, and they run from 9 a.m. to 12, so a few hours, not a whole long time. We usually run it from October to November, and then in the spring from March to April. And we've typically had 20 to 24 volunteers serve as lead and support teachers for a 6-week period, and 18 to 20 volunteers, approximately 3 per week, donate and serve breakfast and snack to the children. Wow. The day begins with breakfast, but it also begins with a short character lesson that Darryl has done. And we have a theme that every time we run the program, the theme is peace. Can you say what the acronym stands for?
It's practice patience, everyone is important, acts of kindness, community caretakers, and every day for the rest of my life.
And so we have a vision. We have a vision that what we are doing week to week with them, there's a benefit to that, of course, in the short run. But what my hope is that what we're doing is planting seeds for God. That these children will become people who give back to their communities. Amen. And so we do this in different ways every time that we gather together. And then once they have this character lesson, they break out into classes. And their extracurricular classes: drama, science and technology, filmmaking, dance. We have disciples volunteer to run them. They bring what their expertise is, and they run the program. And it is just amazing. There's the benefits to this program, I don't think that we will fully comprehend until we see God. Yeah. We see disciples who using their gifts, making an impact, children's lives being changed. It is just It blows my mind. It stretches my faith. It humbles me every time we do it. A little bit of data about the program. So over the course of the last 7 years, we have had over 560 impact opportunities. And what I mean by that is, we've had some children who have gone through the program more than once, but we have had 560 opportunities to impact lives. We have also had 560 opportunities to impact volunteers through service. Not to mention, and this I believe is the most important part, the data that only God can capture. Lives that are changed by compassion, faith that is built by serving, character that is transformed by conviction, and dreams that are expanded through education. And that's not just for the children. What I tell the people who volunteer is that you will get more than you give. That is a promise that I can make, not knowing what will transpire over the course of those 6 weeks. You will get more than you give. And I've done it faithfully, and every time I get more than I give. I'm going to share just a couple of stories with you to just give you some examples of the blessings that God has allowed us to see and hear. Because we are at a school, because we are serving children, obviously we're denied the avenue of sharing the word. But we're given the opportunity of showing Christ in the way that we serve. And it is a powerful, powerful, powerful opportunity. One student in week 4, we asked them to share about somebody that loved them. This is week 4, and he shared, Sam Shaw loves me because he talks to me each week. We have students who make cards, not at all, we don't ask them for it, but they make cards expressing their appreciation. We had a student last session who made a whole cartoon that involved every teacher that was in the program. It was just amazing. We have students who gain belief in themselves and in their abilities because they've been touched and because people have talked to them. And I have the fortune, because I work at the school, to hear those stories. We had a student that hated science, and I had him sign up for the science and technology class. He was not happy with us. But I encouraged him. I said, I want you to do this. You're not getting out of it. I want you to do this. By the end, it's true. By the end of those 6 weeks, this student, by the way, who has special needs, loved science. So brothers and sisters, I could speak for a long, long time, but I can't about science and technology and Saturday Academy and all of that. Thank you.
All right. So my story is just a little bit different. In 2010, which is coincidentally the year that we started Saturday Academy, I got both of my hips replaced. And I was laying on a hospital bed in a nursing home, and my surgeon came to visit me. And he was kind of joking with me. He said, so how are you feeling? I said, terrible, this hurts. And he said, in a couple of days, you're going to be feeling better than you felt in the last 15 years. So time to do something big with your life. I was like, really? Like, you're not even discipled, like, really? You're not even Richard Hislop or somebody, really? So I went back to work, and as Douglas said, I'm a self-defense and use of force instructor at the Boston Police Academy. And I got an idea about bringing some inner city teens into the academy for a summer job. And I thought, I think I can pull it off. I have a similar relationship with my bosses as Barbara does. They trust me. They trust my judgment. They trust that I'm not going to do something that's going to put our facility at risk. So they gave me the green light. And that first year, with some partnership from different police officers around the city, we brought in 20 kids, 20 inner city kids, and they were impacted. And they loved it. And we would do physical training in the morning. We would do character building workshops in the afternoon. We used the same PEACE acronym that we use for Saturday Academy. But instead of once a day, we use it once a week for our theme. And then the next year, I had 30 kids. And I thought, this is awesome. And then the next year, I had 15 kids. And I thought, the police officers who work with me are losing their inspiration. The agencies that pay the kids are losing interest because it's just becoming another thing. So I called Ken Lowy. And I said, hey, Ken, how would you like to sponsor a handful of kids? It's their summer job. Hope pays them, and they can come on in. And Ken thought, that's a great idea. And so we got those first 5, we called them the Hope Scholars. We got the first 5 Hope Scholars, and the program just started growing. I added God to something that was an idea for me. I added hope, literally and spiritually, to this idea that I had, and it just started growing. The next year, we had 50 kids. The next year, we had 65 kids. The year after that, we had 72 kids. And this year, because of some controls we put in the program, we had 58 kids. And the program is amazing. These kids come in, and they are from the inner city in Boston, crime-riddled, poverty-stricken kids who are getting paid to get told what to do by me. So it's really a lot of fun. And the takeaways this season have been great. You know, a few years ago, Ferguson almost exploded off the map with the shooting of Michael Brown. And our mayor had an interview on WBZ. And they asked him, how come Boston's not exploding like every place around the country? And he said there was a lot of reasons, but he highlighted the Boston Police Teen Academy as one of those reasons. And again, I feel like it's because we added God. You said the rules for the kids are Matthew 18. I tell them, now I can't preach to them, but I tell them, I'm going to teach you the perfect way to resolve conflict. It's perfect, it works every time, and I said it's ancient. It's ancient wisdom, it's not my wisdom. I can't preach, I can't open the Bible. So I say, if you have a problem with another kid, now these guys are from neighborhoods all over the city, affiliated with different gangs from all over the city. If you have a problem with a kid or an instructor, go and talk to them, just them. If that doesn't work, get someone else, bring someone else along, an instructor or another kid. If that doesn't work, we're going to bring it in front of the whole community of us. And if that doesn't work, that person has elected to remove themselves from the group. That's just how it works. Trust me, it's ancient wisdom, and it works. And they walk away saying, I wish we could do this in my neighborhood. I wish we could do this in my house. And I can't wait till the moment when I can sit down with one of them after high school, after they graduate, and open the Bible and say, you can do this in your neighborhood, in your house. And so there's some takeaways that get me a little emotional. Because I think that you can look at me and see that in this police stuff that's happening right now, I'm pulled 2 ways. You can see, right? It's I'm standing up here as a cop, and I'm a brother. I'm a brother, right? So you know I'm pulled both ways. And there's been times when I've gotten kicked out of both cookouts, just so you know. I don't get kicked out of this one, but I get kicked out of both of them. So we did this presentation this past year with two brothers. They're twins. Their names are Tito and Tutu. I asked their mother why she did that to me. But they're great boys, and they came in with a lot of edge towards the police. And I said, okay, I'm going to do a presentation with you about putting the right perspective on some of these national use of force issues. And I checked in at the beginning of the issue, and I said, how are you feeling? And one of the brothers raised his hand, and he said, I am angry with the police. And I didn't react. A lot of my colleagues wanted to react, and I was like, that's okay, that's good. That's where you're supposed to be. And so then I talked, and I explained one of these really heartbreaking national cases. It's heartbreaking. And at the end of it, I explained to him why the police acted the way they did in that case. And then I checked in at the end. And the same guy raised his hand. He didn't give it all up. But he said, I'm conflicted. And I said, I moved you. I moved you. And that's what I want to do. And that's what this program does. And that's what God has done when he stepped into this program.